This is power.
Project Power was a Netflix release that promised another high-stakes, blood-pumping action movie with a more than interesting premise with a somewhat familiar concept. And it delivered that. Just that. What is going on, you crazy kids? It is I, the most informed, Caped Informer, and we are in the building today to discuss Netflix's most recent action thriller, Project Power. Informer Army, I'd love to introduce you to my subscribe button. Do yourself a favor and tap that for me so you'll never have to miss out on another exclusive Netflix review from yours truly. The movie comes from directors Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman, and the story centers around a pill that is developed that unlocks 5 minutes of unpredictable superpowers to whoever takes it. The movie follows ex-soldier Art, played by Jamie Foxx, and New Orleans police officer Frank, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, while they track the source of this mysterious drug being trafficked by shady government and corporate entities. The two veteran actors are joined by the young and talented Dominique Fishback as Robin. Whether paired with Foxx or Levitt, Fishback doesn't only hold her own on screen, but proves she's more than capable of making a scene her own. And additionally, homegirl could spit a mean 16.
On a roll like lint, yeah. I see I'm digging at your pride. You thought that you could hide, that the system is a lie. Wasn't built for me to thrive. It don't love nobody like me. Diplomas won't determine who I am or who I might be.
Okay, so based on some of these facts alone, you'd assume we'd have the recipe for an instant Hollywood classic. No?
Wrong.
It is not to say it's bad, just unpolished. Rushed, maybe. I don't know, man. I just feel like no one's gonna remember this movie next week, and that's a problem. Had this come out in theaters, it wouldn't have stood a chance against Tenet or even Mulan. Hell, maybe not even Black Widow. Okay, so positives. It's often very visually appealing. There was a couple of scenes that I just had to watch over and over again because just so much was happening to my ocular senses, and it was kind of hard to digest it all. Didn't hold back on the effects at all in this movie, especially the pill popping scenes, which made the powers that much more interesting, which was a good move. The powers exhibited in this movie were all interesting, but let's be honest, nothing we haven't seen before. Thermal manipulation, super strength, impervious skin, invisibility. Come on, it's like superhero movie 101. Which is why I believe this was one of those movies that truly needed to be a series instead of a movie, which is a common theme in a lot of original Netflix films. They construct these wide universes that couldn't even possibly be even half explored in just one movie. And while they do keep the film just based in New Orleans, there's a big time jump that makes us miss out on a lot of key aspects that would have probably made the film more interesting. Like, we start the movie with the flashback of the drugs making its way to New Orleans, and then there's a 6-year time jump at which this point all the fun parts are behind us. Like, it's on the streets, been on the streets, and people are more or less used to it now. Like, it must have been a wild first couple weeks when people were just starting to use it and jumping off buildings and all that, but we only get to hear about that kind of stuff in passing. What will also earn this movie a place in the bargain bin is the fact that outside of the main cast, none of the characters are very interesting at all. None of the villains or antagonists were even worth mentioning, as well as the supporting characters. All fillers. Quite honestly, if it weren't for Jamie Foxx headlining this, I might have not even finished it. Speaking of fillers, there was so much that went unaddressed in this movie. Like, what was the point of having Robin be a rapper? I feel at a certain point the movie wanted to push an underlying theme of systemic racism through Robin's character, seeing as she's a young black teen living in an impoverished corner of New Orleans and not doing well in school. But the theme just came and went and died, seeing as the movie wasn't at all about that. I mean, they come back with something at the end to give you a clue of how our future will be,